Head harvester Bill Orman from the West Coast.
And this is Ed LaFlamme, head harvester from the East Coast.
Today, we're going to get gross, Harvester Ed.
We're going to get gross.
Really gross, because that's what it's all about, gross margin or gross profit.
Oh.
And you know, that gross profit, we'll talk about what that means a little bit later in another session.
Okay.
But there's like 5 steps to get your gross margin right.
Right, okay.
And there's like 5 steps, right? One is Haws. We'll explain what that is a little bit later. Then you got to do the estimating using some of the Haws. Then you get the pricing, how to mark up your cost to get to the right price. Then you have to go out and do the work. And then after that, hopefully you get a renewal at an increase or an adjustment, right? So step 1 to get to the right gross margin is establish your Haws. You know what the heck Haws are? What the heck are Haws?
It's the hourly average wages.
That's right. So you take your base wage of a group of team, you add the worker comp insurance, and you add the payroll taxes. And then you divide by the number of people. So walk us through that a little bit.
Okay, so once you get that, you want to focus just on the team members now. We're not talking about anybody in the office or the owner or anybody else. Just the people doing the work. That's the key. So we're talking about the crew leaders and the people who are doing the work. We're not talking about their supervisors or account managers, anybody else. Just who's doing the work. That's the key. The next thing is we want to identify each department. So I'm sure most of you do maintenance, you may do snow, they may do construction work, or enhancement work. They're all different departments within your company. So what you want to do is identify your Haws, as Bill just mentioned, in each of the departments, because they will be different because the rates of pay are different. One huge disparity with there is tree work. Because workers' compensation isn't 5 or 6%, it's 20 or 25, 30%. Right. So the Haws is going to be much bigger for the people doing the tree work. Okay, so once you get that, then all you do is divide up that base rates and divide it by the amount of people in each department, and then you get your Haws. It's really simple.
Yeah, so this will get you at what we call the raw Haw.
Yeah.
So let's say you have a crew. They have a crew leader, it's $22 an hour. You have a worker at 18, another worker at 17. You add those up, that gets you to $57, Harvester Ed. Pretty quick math there.
Right.
Divide that by 3, you get to $19. So that's your raw Haw. Raw Haw. Okay? And then you got to add your worker comp insurance and your payroll taxes. In this example, we're just going to use 17%. Now, don't use 17%. You got to verify in your state what your payroll taxes are and what you're paying for your worker comp, because that could change based upon your mod rate on worker comp. You've been safe or not safe, and that affects your Haw. And I tell you what, I'm not going to get into safety, but that can really affect your Haw in a negative way if you don't have a good safety record. So you take $19 times 17%, and you get to a Haw of $22.23 as your Haw. There you go.
Got it. One example that Bill just mentioned about the state, like for example, Massachusetts, instead of 17, it's going to be 25 at least. And that's even the workers' compensation. That's because the taxes are so high.
Sure.
So each state's going to be different and every department's going to be different. So it's important to identify each department in the revenue stream and identify that. Okay, once you have that, you want to make sure that you adjust that. The way things are going right now, I know some companies are adjusting monthly different people in the organization to keep up with the inflation. Well, what they just said a few weeks ago, it was 9.1%. That's the latest inflation rate. So because of that, we're raising our prices. We have to keep raising the money we pay our people, which means we have to keep adjusting the Haws. So I would say at least quarterly, you should be adjusting your Haws, because that's how you're adjusting your price. That's what your price is based on, is the Haw to get the gross margin, right?
Yeah. Haws are really the epicenter of getting your gross margin right. So this is the first step, Haws. We have 4 more to share with you in future steps here. And so that's very important. Know your Haws, your estimating, your pricing, your execution, and your renewals.
Now, if you're impatient and you don't want to wait for our videos, because it may take a little while, you may want to just go on to Harvest Way Academy. Just Google it, Harvest Way Academy. I'll tell you what, we could put a link in the bottom. They could check it out.
Why not? Let's make it easy.
Yeah, and in Harvest Way Academy, it has a complete, about 2-hour program with videos and everything that explains everything about what we're talking about, 1 through 5, and how to apply that to your pricing. So you get your pricing correct for each department, and that's the key. because most companies don't know what the price, on their departments.
So getting gross is pretty fun sometimes if you got your right Haws.
You
right?
got it. Can
Giddy
be fun.
up, Pa.
Right. It's good if you're pricing right.
That's right. Head harvester Bill Earn for the West Coast.
And this is Ed LaFlamme, head harvester from the East Coast.
Now go out there and harvest your potential with the right gross margin.
Got it.